Hi, I'm Dr. Dan Wadsworth and I'm a researcher at UniSC and a member of the Healthy Aging Community Alliance, or the HACA. The focus of my work is healthy aging and well-being. Basically, helping people to do what they want to do for as long as they want to do it. But my most important job though is being a dad to my 6-year-old daughter Poppy. She's as bright as a button and I've no doubt that her cognitive reserve is huge. As part of our core concept series at HACA, we'll be taking a scientific idea, a term, or a concept and breaking it down in these short videos. In this way, we'll learn more about the world of healthy aging research, the foundations of the field, and the latest discoveries. We'll get to see how my colleagues at UniSC and I are working on innovative new studies to improve our health and well-being as we age. Today, I'm going to be talking about cognitive reserve, what it is, and how we can build on it to stay cognitively healthy. Decades of research has been spent trying to unearth the cause of age-related diseases, such as dementia, in the hope of then finding a cure. However, the root cause still remains unclear. Although symptoms of age-related disease are well defined and can therefore be diagnosed, it's still unclear what actually causes this decline with disease. So we're now turning our efforts to understanding prevention strategies rather than finding a cure. And this is where cognitive reserve comes in. To understand reserve, we need to think of the brain as a network, but instead of, say, a network of friends communicating via social media, we have brain regions sending out information, our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings between each other via electrical signals sent along neurons, which are a type of brain cell. And the efficient flow of this information between brain regions is integral to our mental health, and it allows us to remain functionally, emotionally, and mentally healthy. With age-related diseases, we see disruptions to this network. Our brain regions and the communication networks between them diminish. However, research has shown that some people's brain networks can cope with more network disruption or damage than others and still function in the normal healthy range. And this has given rise to the idea of cognitive reserve. It's a bit like a savings account at the bank. Cognitive reserve is the idea that people develop a reserve of thinking abilities during their lives, which can build resilience to neurological diseases, which are diseases that affect the brain, and even the day-to-day process of aging. And it's thought that this can protect us against damage, losses, and disruptions to our network that can occur through aging and disease. Cognitive reserve is the brain's ability to resist physical changes such as damage and loss from disease. And in dementia, we see certain brain regions linked to memory and emotional processing begin to shrink or atrophy as the disease progresses. A larger cognitive reserve helps to buffer these losses and damage, helping you to function normally. And research has shown that disease progression, or burden, and the amount of brain shrinkage, or atrophy, are not directly correlated. That's to say that two people, let's say person A and person B, with the same amount of damage caused by dementia may have very different levels of day-to-day function. Person A has a higher level of brain and cognitive reserve, so their brain's network is more resilient and information can still flow effectively, which means that person A is still able to function normally, whereas person B has a higher level of disease burden, is more affected by memory loss, and is unable to live independently. This ability of some brains to pad themselves against disease has researchers excited. If we can understand the reserve that person A has managed to build, we can start to identify effective prevention strategies. Scientists can measure reserve using cognitive testing and brain scanning such as MRI, and we now know that we can build our cognitive and our brain reserve throughout our lives by, the old favourites. 1. More physical activity. 2. Continuing to engage and learn complex new skills throughout our lives. 3. Maintaining social interactions. 4. Getting good quality sleep. And 5. Maintaining a good diet. So from a research perspective, we actually know a lot more about the links with the first two factors. And studies that explore the impact of diet and sleep are particularly scarce. Interestingly, a recent review of research suggests that education, leisure activities, and occupational activity are all important protective factors against cognitive decline. Furthermore, a particularly strong determinant of cognitive reserve are complex social interactions, and people who carry out complex work with others are more likely to have more reserve. Building cognitive and brain reserve can protect us against age-related decline because it adds what scientists who study graph theory call redundancy into our networks. So remember our friends communicating on social media? Well, imagine that they also use letters and phone calls and sign language and Morse code. That way, if the internet goes down, they can switch modes and still communicate. That's what we do when we build reserve. We build in backup systems to our brain's network so we can deal with outages and damage caused by disease and continue to function. So there we have it. We need to build on our cognitive reserve throughout our lifetime, and staying physically and socially active are currently some of the best ways to do this. Researchers at UniSC and around the world are currently investigating the most effective way to build reserve and how this can protect us from aging-related diseases. For my part, I work to promote accessible physical activity for older adults, incorporating social connection and creative practice. And I'm exploring ways to make these things as accessible as possible for the whole of society. If you're interested in any of the topics I've covered today and would like to know more, or you have an idea for a core concept you would like us to cover, please email and we'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.